Hi everyone, welcome to this presentation of my paper titled BIM Education through Problem-Based Learning Exercise, Challenges and Opportunities in an Interprofessional Module. I am Dr. Shariful Shikder. I am from the School of Built Environment Engineering and Computing of Leeds Beckett University. Let's start with the context of this research. The incorporation of BIM is changing the traditional method of working within the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. The key principle of BIM is to promote a collaborative working culture with a seamless flow of information between stakeholders. BIM has become an integral part of the UK construction industry since the enforcement of the government's BIM mandate in 2016. However, one of the biggest challenges of industry-wide BIM adoption is the lack of BIM knowledge and expertise. Hence, with the changing scenario of the construction industry, higher education institutions also face the pressure to update their curriculum and education methods. Given the importance of this topic, BIM education is subject to research by many authors. Literature reviews suggest that it may be challenging to incorporate BIM education within the already compact AEC curriculum. I'm sure that many of my fellow academics will also agree upon this claim. So there may be question, how can we incorporate BIM education in existing curriculum? Where this research comes in, to explore challenges and opportunities of an interprofessional module, which is not specifically dedicated for BIM education. However, this module may have the potentiality of BIM education because of the involvement of students from various subjects. In case of teaching, a range of approaches are adopted in BIM education. A very common approach of teaching is project-based or problem-based learning exercise. This study aims to identify the prospect of interprofessional group projects as a method of educating building information modeling among AEC students. Students from 4 disciplines were involved in this module. They include final year undergraduate students from architectural technology, building surveying, quantity surveying, and project management courses. They worked in small groups, 5 to 6 members in each group, and aimed to develop a schematic design proposal and a feasibility report for a given site. This figure presents the research methods adopted. The red text are indicating the objectives of the research. The research adopted a mixed approach, included a couple of poll-EV surveys, along with observation of group activities. 2 poll-EV surveys were conducted, one in week 2 and another one in week 9. The poll-EV surveys were aimed to identify and understand students' knowledge of the BIM process. Between these periods, seminars were arranged to inform BIM principles and process, and they were encouraged to adopt BIM's tools to conduct their group exercise. Group collaboration and the use of BIM-specific tools were also observed throughout the exercise. Finally, limitations and the challenges of this exercise were evaluated, and further opportunities for improving BIM education through this module were identified. This slide presents the findings of week 2 poll-EV survey. Most of the students were aware of BIM, however their knowledge was insufficient to understand the BIM process. The figures showing the results of questions related to government BIM mandate and the common data environment. It shows that most of the students, they were not aware of the government BIM mandate and they didn't know what a common data environment is. This slide presents the poll-EV survey results for week 9. As expected, it was found that most of the students were well aware of the BIM process and government's BIM mandate at this stage, including some understanding of the common data environment. However, questions related to group collaboration provided mixed answers. You can see from the right-hand side figure, the question was, group projects help me to learn about collaborative working environment. You can see half of the students agreed and half of the students disagreed to this statement, and a portion of students neither agree nor disagree. From the left-hand side figure, you can see that communication and collaboration within the group activities was satisfactory. This slide presents further results of the week 9 poll-EV survey for communication and file sharing. From the left-hand side figure, you can see most of the students used online messaging apps like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger to communicate between group members. They also used email and text messages. When asked about project information sharing or document or file sharing, they used again online messaging platforms like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. They also used cloud-based platform like OneDrive or Dropbox. It should be noted that we did not ask students to use any specific platform or tools for file sharing or collaboration. The key findings and discussion. So we got a highlight of the key findings in the previous slides. From the observation, it was found that not all group members were competent in using BIM specific tools. Only architectural technology students use specific tools, like they knew how to use Revit, so they use Revit to produce their design drawings. Collaborative group activities were also not intuitive to follow the BIM principles. And what we found that previous knowledge of BIM specific tools were lacking among most of the students. Like only architectural technology students, they knew how to use Revit, so they used Revit. The understanding of BIM principles and the process was also not equal among all group members. So in a project-based learning exercise, all tutors need to be clear about the objectives and goals of the module. Hence, incorporating BIM requires all tutors as thinking in the same level and expect similar output. So at the end, we try to draw some conclusions and recommendations how we can incorporate BIM education within this module. So introduction to BIM specific software in earlier semesters need to be focused so students can apply their expertise in this module and improve their BIM competency. Also, students should be encouraged to use BIM specific software packages in this in this module. As I said earlier, that this module was not dedicated for BIM education, so we did not ask students to use specific software or any specific platform to share files, etc. Simulating a collaborative environment requires infrastructure like common data environment or relevant software, which should be addressed at the school level. To maximize the benefit of the collaboration working process using BIM principles, all relevant disciplines should establish desired learning outcomes. Because of the rapid changes in software and hardware technology, it may be possible that the knowledge on specific software can be obsolete in the near future. Therefore, self-directed learning should be encouraged. Future studies should include in-depth research, including industry professionals and academics, to determine specific industry requirements regarding BIM skills and specific pedagogic approach for higher education institutions. Thank you very much for listening to the presentation. Any questions, please?